Previously on MaudeWorld.
And a new member of the Golden Sails has just arrived at the sail house.
Fella, pleasure.
Are we friends?
Sure, why not? Well, you're part of the Golden Sails now.
1 week ago, Baron Ortho Callio was kidnapped by the Red Rats. The rats have been holed up in an old abandoned wizard's tower on the outskirts of Brindel, and they're holding the Baron hostage.
Well, I mean, if Dermot signed off on it, I think we're all game to go do it.
You're just about to sort of look over the other side of the cart, and you can see two individuals very clearly hiding behind the cart.
For a free action, when I get shot, can I yell, "It's an ambush"?
I am running over to Damerus and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
Don't die!
I didn't expect to die, just look at
Quarterstaff time.
And you hear a loud cracking sound as you shatter his ribs.
Move your cart!
I got it! Do a little jump, straight in the chest, then fall.
Let's make sure that we take one of them. Oh, no, never mind.
The dust settles over the last fight. Damerus shouts out, "No, let's leave that one," as Drake victoriously takes his final blow.
I got him, did you see?
Yeah, yes, well done, Drakensian.
You kicked his ass, boy!
Thanks, Credit. I never miss. Except that one time.
Are you okay?
I am now, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, you got a lot of blood on there. What happened to you?
Well, I got shot by one of your friends.
Sorry, I was ready to stabilise you.
Oh, that's
I was
fine.
just waiting for you to...
To nearly die.
Yes.
Yes? Well, I know how you work.
Did you see me?
What?
I punched some serious face! And he goes for a high five.
I'm so there.
Up top!
Yeah!
I like that you have to jump.
That was amazing.
You killed a lot of people.
Yeah!
Don't mess with the elderly. We vote for things.
Evidently, says Dallin, who was also with that in that final melee. Is everybody all right?
I'm fine. I feel much better.
Yeah, I'm about 2/3 of how I would feel if I was feeling great.
Careful.
So was that everyone that was gathered around here turned out to be dickheads and we just killed them?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just us left now.
Yes.
Just no.
Yeah, as far as you're aware, yes.
I'm going to start looking in all the other... Because there were like carts around, right?
Yes.
Cool! I'm going to look in the carts!
Okay. You...
Roll initiative.
Oh no!
Andy, I'm the DM. Sarah, roll initiative. No, so you go up to the carts, and frankly, aside from some slightly distressed horses, who are sort of they seem to have calmed down a little bit, but they're a little bit on edge, sort of sniffing the air and sort of
Distressed
looking around.
horses?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay, I don't even look in the carts before I even get to the carts. I'll be trying to calm the horses down.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
It's okay.
Don't worry, girl. People pay extra for pre-distressed horses these days. Young people love that.
23.
23. So you...
It's okay.
Just motorboating them.
I'm talking horse.
Motorboating the horses is going to require a weird angle. But no, you go up to these.
DC.
Yes. You
do
go
it
up
on
to
any
the
angle.
you go up to the horses and like just making it, and like the rest of you sort of look at her and go like, all right, okay, she's just being weird, but
I do think that.
but
I see you going to motorboat a horse. That's what I'm thinking.
But upon second glance, you see that
I probably don't do a second glance. That's what I'm looking. Nope.
That's weird.
Now you know how my ex-wife felt.
See how you ruined things, Alex. Last time you ruined it with your men.
That was
Fucking-
Connor.
That was
That was
definitely
Connor. Look at that shifty
Pure Alan.
face.
That was all
Pure
Alan.
Alan. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna blame you.
I'll take it.
That's
Where-
Alex.
That's a
That's
good
Alex.
joke.
That's Alex work. That is. So no,
The horses and I are having a moment.
no, you noticing all of these weird noises and just like the gentle motions that Vela is using with the horses, and they take a moment and they seem much calmer. They just sort of like tossing their heads, looking around, but they make eye contact with you, and they seem to understand you somehow.
Well, while she's having fun with the horses, for one of a distraction, if nothing else, I go over to the car and go, right, shall we actually move this then? Because we still presumably need to get past the damn thing.
Yes, that would be a good idea. Well, everyone together as best we can.
Don't you worry about that.
Okay, so who wants to help move the cart?
Me.
The two halflings, we got this.
I'm
Two
not
halflings?
that strong, actually.
I'll help.
I should
Okay.
probably be helping.
Strength is
but-
my
oh well.
lowest.
Yep, you guys are not a strong party. But so the halflings. Anybody else? Esther? No, that's fine.
While
And
you're doing this, I'm just gonna have a look through these pockets. I hope you don't mind.
no, please go ahead.
Yep. I might as well.
You
Is genuinely the strongest member of our party a 16-year-old girl?
What's
What's your
yours?
strength?
Plus
I
2.
don't know why
Same.
there would be a problem with that.
Okay, good.
the ladies
It's
are
2019,
the
Sarah,
physically
that's
strongest. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely some 16-year-old girls stronger than me. That's
So say we all. Damerus, make an investigation check. Everyone who's helping with the cart, make a strength check, please.
Athletics?
No.
Damn.
So strength checks.
17.
17,
14.
14,
11.
11, and Dallin still
halflings, truly.
still recovering a bit with an 8. What did you roll for investigation?
19.
19. Okay. So between the four of you, the three of you plus Dallin, it obviously it takes a while because it's a bit tricky because you've got to first push it all the way over onto its wheels, turn it around, and then sort of between you start wheeling it out of this this narrow sort of roadway. And you two, so it takes you out 5-10 minutes or so to eventually manage to get it out between all of you. Damerus, you are searching the corpses in the immediate area?
Yes.
Okay. So,
What'd you roll?
19.
Damerus would probably remember that they had a distinctive
I am,
wrist
yeah.
thing, right?
I'm also having a look for anything.
yes. So, I was getting to that. So, you find on them a whole, they each have a coin purse on them.
Cool.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna end up sharing with my friends.
Yeah, okay. So, of the 6 here, okay, let's...
Ladies and gentlemen, the generous rogue. A very rare breed.
Oh, wow. Yes. Okay, hang on. I'm going to need to write some things down here.
Big numbers.
Well, it's just the way I like to do random coin purses is I roll 3d10. One of them is gold, one of them is silver, one of them is copper. It's just sort of a, so you don't suddenly find a random bandit who is carrying 100 gold on them, because people don't do that.
What if he doesn't trust banks?
This bandit does.
I don't know why I said that in occasions. What if he doesn't trust banks?
Who are you talking to?
The economy, Alex.
Sorry?
He's talking to the economy.
Well, I don't think talking to the economy really does much in this day and age. So you, in addition,
somewhere. It's a stretch, but isn't there?
in addition to finding a variety of coins on these individuals, which I will tell you momentarily, You
One.
find one thing that looks like a coin. No, you also notice on just like from the way that some of them have fallen, you notice on their left arms, on their sort of wrists up with their left forearms, you pull their sleeves up and you notice a tattoo of a red rat, and it's a very small little thing with sort of the tail curling around itself, and underneath you see they all you sort of checking the various pockets and things of all the different bands. You check the arms and it's all in exactly the same place, but the distinctive thing about all of them is they all have a number, each of which is different. They all start with it's a 5-digit number, and they all go 4 dash and then variants. But
do any of them seem like they're in sequence, or were just random?
they seem fairly random. Yeah, the numbers are all fairly close together.
Mm-hmm.
They all start with 2 3.
Okay.
But then it's so 2,341,
Yeah.
73, etc. But yes, they all start with 4 dash and then something else just under, very, very small. The whole tattoo is actually surprisingly intricate for how small it is.
Okay.
Now for the DM to do some quick maths.
How's the motorboating?
Great.
How do tattoos work in this world? Is it like a magic thing, or is it like an artisan thing?
Oh, imagine it's kind of so.
Style, right?
Yeah,
Like ink on a nail.
exactly.
Mm.
You can put them through that way. But there was also, I mean, it depends on the law of the world. But in Faerun and stuff, there can be magic tattoos.
Mm.
You can allay it with magic, which gives certain powers.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, no, it does. It's much like the real world. Like you can, you have sort of normal blacksmiths who just make normal swords, but then you can also get those swords enchanted and progressing up to ridiculous levels of magic. And it's much the same with tattoos, in that they operate under a fairly sort of normal ink-based system, but
Can I
could
just
potentially be
double-check?
enchanted.
Did you just say just like the real world?
Yeah. You get normal blacksmiths and magic blacksmiths.
do you guys not know about the magic blacksmith? Oh no!
Andy,
My horses just have normal shoes.
I have shoes of running, or as they're normally called, running shoes.
damn it, Andy, stop giving away trade secrets. So, the total amount of money you find between all the various purposes is 24 gold pieces, 39 silver pieces, and 41 copper pieces.
Sweet.
Tasty.
That's a lot of second breakfast.
4 gold.
24 gold,
Disturbed.
39 silver, 41 gold. 41 copper, sorry.
Cool. Yep. Put it in my pouch, and now I'm walk back towards the group. I found this and just drop the new collected pouch on the ground. And I had a look over these people. They all had tattoos. Your name has disappeared out of my brain.
Dallin?
Dallin.
Yes, Dallin. Sorry.
It's fine, I forget
Sorry.
it myself.
The red rats, they have tattoos on their arm, yes?
Yes.
No vague number designation?
Yes.
All of these people are rats.
Hmm.
How far away are we from this wizard's tower?
Yeah, well, Brindel should be another... Well, we have to clear the road a bit first, but it can't be much more than half an hour to an hour, perhaps.
Why would they have known that we were coming?
Why would they have tried to stop us from coming, given
When
that
they
they requested
asked
us?
us to come.
But they may not be expecting us. They may just be waylaying people. They're bandits, don't forget. They're not just... Isn't the kidnapping thing, that's the whole point, is that it's not in character. Like, these are just standard bandits, so robbing is fine. Well, not fine, but kind of within what they do.
Yes, but it does seem... I don't know. I mean, they would have... Maybe they just saw an opportunity to attack one of the watch.
Yeah, did anyone know you were coming, like?
I mean, I was... in the inspector in charge. He sent me back to find help. He thought best to just send one person for the sake of ease of transport, but
Well, if we are going down to sinister...
anybody who did know I was coming was part of the watch.
Did you come by this road?
Yes,
How long ago?
last night.
Well, if we're going down the sinister route, like, on your own, you'd have been in trouble. So if they're trying to cut off reinforcements, this would have been a good way to do it.
Yes, but why would...
Maybe you've got a rat.
Very good.
Yes,
Isn't
thank you.
that meant to be a mole?
You should get those checked. I've got a funny one. It's sort of here.
Um,
I've checked it already, Granad. It's fine.
should I check?
It hasn't
Today
moved.
you haven't.
Should I check the mole?
You go for your life. I ain't
It's
touching
not
it again.
a living mole, not the mole you're kind of thinking
Oh.
of. Not a pet mole.
Oh, like a skin mole?
I did think you were awfully
Wait.
keen.
I'm terribly sorry. What was your name again, young lady?
Vela.
Vela. You seem to be good with these animals. Would you
Mm-hmm.
mind helping just guide the carts off the road? I mean, I'm afraid that we'll have to leave them here, and I'll send. It's fine. I'll send some watchers back to collect them.
I can drive a cart. If we're only going one way, like, I can take one. I actually have what you might call proficiency with vehicles at the land mage.
What are you tapping?
I tap my knee when I'm thinking.
I see. Very well. Well, yes. Actually, I suppose that might be a. Yes, we can get them back to wherever to. Well, we can give them a good home at least. I have no idea where
There's
these
no
came
shame in
from.
leaving them here.
Whichever is quicker, frankly. I think that adding a few to this convoy making a convoy out of this is not going to lengthen things by too much. So if whoever feels comfortable driving, then please go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to leave these horses, so yeah, convoy.
Shotgun. We got ourselves an old-fashioned road trip. Yeehaw!
God damn it.
And he jumps in the front seat.
Granddad, move over. You're in the driver's seat.
Very good.
Your grandfather is very peculiar.
We're all peculiar. Have you seen us?
Well, I suppose, but
She talks to pigeons and motorboats horses, and he's the peculiar one.
is that
Did anyone
what you
bring
were
any
doing?
pear drops?
I was
I
calming
keep telling
the
you, that's
horse
not one of your 5 a day.
Very well. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry.
Drake.
If you wouldn't mind, and Vela, if you could take the second, and the rest of you with me.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Sounds good.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with T.
Is it 3?
Yeah, your turn.
Time passes.
I spy.
I'd like to be
It's 3.
riding up front with Dallin and keeping an eye on anything and everything.
Okay, make
Messenger.
a perception check.
That's good.
Can I keep an eye out behind her?
Sure, make a perception check.
You slowly see Drake losing the will to live.
19.
What little he had.
Plows the cart into a big tree.
Yeah. Oh no! What a crazy accident.
15.
15. So the two of you keep an eye out over the next hour or so, as you continue along the South Road. You see nothing particularly out of the ordinary. It seems very quiet. It's getting now to be sort of a bit past, probably about sort of early afternoon, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd say at this point. Village is not particularly far south of the city. But you round a bend in the road, and you can see up ahead, on a slight decline, you can see the village of Brindel, and you can also clearly see off to the left and before the village, up on a hill outside of the town. You can very clearly see a large stone tower stretching up at the top of the hill, and you can also make out that this hill very much appears to be surrounded.
Like, on a scale of how surrounded, are we talking tens, dozens, hundreds?
Dozens. Or like, dozens. It's hard to tell at this distance, but like you can see a very clear. Obviously, you can't see all the way around the hill, but it's a very clear barricade of people.
Can we see from this distance how many of them seem to be archers at all, or is it too far?
It's too far to tell from this distance, really. So you make your way further down, and you can also see as you get closer along the road itself, you can see several other individuals dressed in Watchers uniforms. They go to they sort of say, excuse me, if you could just keep going, nothing to see here. And then as this happens, then Dallin jumps down from one of the carts and goes, "You there, men?" And then he turns, "Oh, sir!" And they give a quick salute, which is one that you've not really seen before, but it sort of starts off like that, and then their hand goes to the side, spread like so. And then it goes, "Men, see to it that these carts are moved somewhere safe indoors or to the near village, whatever you think appropriate. Where is the inspector?" And sir, he's over by the base camp. Hasn't moved since he got here, really. Very well, men, carry on. And and they go, "Sir," and start to take the carts away.
I presume you picked up that coin pouch again.
I did.
Yeah.
Because no one else did.
Well, you're the valuer, so
Yeah.
we kind of trust you to deal with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have it.
I'm
We'll get your pocket money.
We didn't go, "Here's all the money," and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, so I'm not quite so cruel as to assume the characters don't do very obvious things just because the players don't say. I'm cruel in other ways. Moving on. So, Dallin leads you over closer towards the hill. These watchers apparently having formed some sort of perimeter. So you march forward, and you can see now as you get closer, you can make out the hill is about the hill is a good several hundred feet outside of town. And it's about, you'd guess, 150 feet sort of from the bottom of the hill to the peak, to the top.
How steep is it?
Reasonably. It's maybe about just under a 45-degree angle. So
That's quite steep.
yeah, it's climbable, but tricky.
Is there a path or steps or anything? Because presumably it went up to the wizard tower.
Yes, there does not appear to be any steps, no. You see surrounding the tower, now as you get close, not surrounding the tower, surrounding the bottom of the hill, you can see the group of watchers. All of them are looking, sort of keeping an eye on the tower itself.
Watching, if you will.
Yes. It's almost as
Very
if that's their job
good.
title.
That's all they did. Oh no! Should we do something about this? No, we just watch.
We'll leave that.
I'd love to, Bill, but
Get some doers in here now.
they're all busy doing something. Classic doers.
Why did we design the police force this way? And they are all they have weapons drawn, and you see that about half of them have bows, have long bows. Yeah.
These are the people we could see surrounding it before.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't see any red rats on the outside of the tower.
No. You see the tower itself. It's pretty tall. It's hard to make out exactly how tall from this distance. But yes, Dallin leads you away. He leads you towards a very small camp. There are a few tents set up. Not many. It's but a few sort of mostly sleeping tents, and one that is ever so slightly larger. And he sort of there are two watchers standing outside. They both again give that same salute to the watchhand as he leads you in and gestures you into the tent. You can see the tent set up. There is a small desk inside the tent, and at it sits a human man. looks to be about in his 40s, with pale blonde hair, which is balding. Very sort of neatly trimmed moustache. And Dallin walks forward and waits, sort of like standing close to the desk, but waits for the man to finish some writing that he's doing. Man at the desk looks up, and Dallin again gives the same salute. Inspector, sir, I have returned with the reinforcements you requested. And this human man looks over and goes, "Come forward, if you would."
Step forward.
Yeah. How tall is his desk?
The things you forget to consider when you have halflings. The things you forget to consider when you have halflings. About 2.5 feet.
Cool.
Yeah. The man, this inspector, stands up, gives you all a brief glance over, then turns to Dan and goes, "Thank you, Watchhand. Go, you'll see to the men."
Go
Check.
Watch them.
Hate you so much. Says, "Go see to the men. See how they're all feeling."
Don't do anything. Just watch.
I'll be inspecting.
Every time you piss me off, the monsters get harder, people. And Dan goes,
Are they beholders?
"They will be." And Dallin goes, "Sir," and walks out of the tent. So, you are from one of the mercenary companies, I'm going to assume.
Only the very best, sir. And he looks around the group like he's really impressed with this episode. Nailed it.
We're part of the Golden Sails.
There's no need for that, grandfather, I assure you. Golden Sails, you say?
Aye.
Yes. Well, that's a plus. My name is Pelton. I'm an inspector of Peakstock. So, I assume that the Watchhand briefed you on the situation. Well,
some lad got himself kidnapped by the Red Rats, and we're here to save him. They won't deal with you lads.
you're here to negotiate, young man. I would be reticent to send you all in without backup. And yes, the Baron has been kidnapped, and I suppose that I don't need to impress upon you the importance of that and the significance of that. Good. Well then. Now that you're here, I suppose there's no time like the present. And he walks outside. Come.
Excuse me, sir. Have the Red Rats asked for anything? Ransom or such?
That's what I'm sending you in to find out. The last two watchers that we sent up there to negotiate, they shot through the head. And they very specifically told us that they would not negotiate with anybody of the watch.
How did they tell you that when everyone who went to speak to them got shot in the head? Did they do it in some kind of pattern?
They
Was
all
it like
started in a
Morse?
line and it just one arrow.
Like Morse code with arrows?
They projected.
With their arrows?
White magic.
No, they just shouted very loudly.
Oh.
Oh.
Do we have anything we can negotiate with? Like, do we have something we can swap?
We could. No, they're just corpses. So we could offer their friends.
We have your dead friends!
They don't know that.
They're friends.
Oh yes, we were attacked by some red rats on the road on the way here.
Eight of them.
I killed 3.
And you're sure they were red rats?
Oh, 100%. They had the tattoo and the number designation. Is there any way they could have sent word or got out? Well, I suppose there's probably many ways they could have sent word. They're in a wizard's tower. I mean, on a better day, I'd like to, go and explore the place properly, but sorry, we have business here.
Do you happen to know anything about the number designations? they have any significance?
I'm not sure I'm at liberty to share that information.
Why?
It's very likely you'll get shot in the head very soon. So
Yes.
Also, we're here doing you a favour, like.
If there's any information you think is pertinent, then we need all of it.
so we don't get shot in the head.
Yes.
Make a persuasion check, Herb.
Ooh. Oh, he's really good at that. 19.
He persuades people to look after him.
Yeah, exactly. Puts up with his
We're all here for
Charming, wise, and yet senile.
Herb used mediocrity.
It's super effective. The inspector takes a long look at you.
He's not getting any older.
His he purses his lips at you and then turns back to Herb. The number designation tends to refer to their areas of operation. The first number tends to refer to a specific city. The rest, well, that just tends to be a personal identification number.
What area are we in at the moment for number designation?
The numbers tend to refer to the areas of city.
Do you know what city would be for?
That would be Peakstock.
Okay. Well, these routes were based out of Peakstock then. They
Local
were all
boys.
Yes, they were all number designation 4 starting, and the rest obviously randomised.
Well, that's troubling. And they're all dead.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Unfortunately.
Very dead.
They were trying to kill us, so yeah. Do you think they have a ledger? Like, of all the different numbers?
Well, if there is, then the Watch would certainly like to get their hands on it.
I was thinking it.
We've never found any such ledger. But
There must be, otherwise there's no point having a number whatsoever.
That's why I was kind of thinking. They might have one in the tower, like.
well, we think that there probably is somewhere, but we've never found their headquarters. They're a very wide-reaching organisation.
Yeah, but sure, like, they can't all just have to go back to the one HQ to check in. They must have the different ledgers everywhere.
Look, how exactly they operate is not the point of this conversation.
You seem surprised that they attacked us on the road. And your
Well,
man
it's-
told us that there was no way that anyone would know that he was coming, and this was a planned ambush. They had overturned carts in the road. They lulled us all into a trap, essentially, feigning to be peasants.
He sort of looks off to the side, thinks for a moment. Right.
So if there's any potential leaks you might have, you may want to look at the ceiling.
Yes, thank you.
Alex, does he come across trustworthy? They get
This
a
guy.
trustworthy vibe from this guy.
Make an insight check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
So insightful.
You had porridge for breakfast. I never
Full
trusted a man who
Sherlock
had
in his
porridge.
eyes.
Okay, I'm going to... This is a MaudeWorld first, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try something here. I don't know
That's the first
how...
natural 20 of the series.
No, first, it's the first player natural 20 of the series.
Oh shit.
Ironically, my natural 20 was against you. Yes, but
The battle of wits.
I'm going to attempt to see if this works. Alex, approach the DM.
Hot diggity damn.
I've done this before.
Okay, you stay on your knees, boy. You don't have to crawl.
But he prefers it when you do.
Look at him.
This is... We don't have sponsors because we're brand new. We're MaudeWorld.
What? Oh, well, you're saying like this is sponsor time,
Yeah.
What's your favourite fantasy product?
Favorite fantasy products.
Jetpack.
Magic blacksmiths. Yes.
Magic blacksmiths because they're totally not real.
I was totally going to do like an actual thing that I'm following at the
best.
moment. So the ice cream dice Kickstarter is like seriously cool.
Wait.
I don't know if
Ice
it's going to
cream
release.
dice.
I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
what?
going to release in time this episode for people to actually know about it and get on board with the Kickstarter. But there's a guy, I can't remember his name, terrible, who's basically designed
Get out of my
like
shop,
6
boy.
or 7 different variants of
I said.
dice sets that are like based on ice cream flavors.
Ah.
And I backed
That's what
it
you get.
because I'm like, yes.
Farmers of
Totally
Wales.
cool.
They look
I
great.
get that.
So yeah,
Ice cream dice.
there you go.
And that's back from our sponsors now
Yes.
to your regular viewing.
Wow, we're doing a proper Sam Riegel. Okay. But yes, so that's what you get. He turns back to you all and goes, well, the plot thickens. The plot thickens, because he's northern. So
So he says it twice.
alright.
Those Northerners.
It's doubly thick, this book.
So
Viscous.
look. They have specifically told us that they will talk with people who are not of the Watch. So I'm going to send you up. Our forces will be standing by. I won't deny that there is some element of risk to this, but frankly we're out of options. If any of us try to get anywhere closer than we already are, they'll probably shoot us. I'm authorizing you to get as much information as you can, and, well, just come back with as much information as you can, and we'll discuss their demands, if they have any, when you get back.
That's
What-
not acceptable.
I beg your pardon?
What can we negotiate with? You send us in there to our certain death to negotiate. You don't give us anything to work with except find information. We're going to go up there, ask them one question, and get us sorted afterwards.
This is why we keep the creepy girl around. She's good in a crisis.
I won't deny there is an element of risk, but frankly, if we send our people up there, I know they're going to get shot. If I send you up there, you might get shot. Yes, there is that risk, but we don't have any other options, and I'm not going to let a member of the nobility be captors of these bastards. So, you're very welcome to walk away, and that will be that.
I would suggest that if we die up there, that does not help the survival chances of your noble.
I think what the lady is trying to say is that we need some terms to go with. We can't just go into a negotiation and say, so, excuse me, brigands, what would you like? We have the whole watch behind us. We're parties not involved in all of this. We're just being paid to talk to you. What would you like? And we can't offer them anything. They'll take us as hostage as well. And we're worth nothing.
Well, let's
What
not
I'm-
go that far, but...
Two things. First, I would hope that none of you would be foolish enough to actually go in there. Just go up to the door and ask them to come out. Second,
We would
I'm-
have done that.
I was planning on going directly
Yeah.
inside.
I'll be honest with you, we were all thinking it.
I,
we were just
I
gonna go
sincerely
inside.
think they're not going to talk to us on the doorstep.
Why would they come out? You just shoot them. If I was them, I wouldn't be coming out. Oh, we've got the hill surrounded. Would you just come out of your nice tower? Like,
Also,
okay,
they'll feel
do you
much more
do you all
comfortable in
understand
their
the
town.
fact that they have a hostage? We can't shoot them. If we do anything to shoot them, then they're just going to kill the Baron.
yeah, but then you just storm in and kill them all. They can't kill the hostage and expect to live. So it's not in their interest to kill
Yeah,
the
I think,
hostage
but I
either.
think
And
what
it's-
the
so-
watch is trying to say is that we don't want the hostage to die. Yes, that's important.
Look, as far as we're concerned, if the Baron is executed, that's a loss. I don't care about killing some scum, but if the Baron dies, then it's all of our heads.
But they care about that quite a lot, presumably. So one
The point is that we care more about the Baron being alive than they care about the risk of them being shot. They know that we're not going to shoot them so long as they've got the Baron.
Right, okay, so what's your terms? What are you offering?
Well, that's the point. We find out what they want, and then you come back, and then we send you back up.
What about
Okay. It's a-
guidelines? So
Really?
if they ask for all of the castles in the land,
That's a hard no.
Oh, okay, I get your
Why-
point. So we're not negotiating, we're walking up the door. Hello there, what do you want? Oh, you want that? Right, we'll be back in a minute. Is that basically your plan?
Aye.
Okay, let's go to that.
I have an idea. I have an idea. If we go in there, ask them what we want, what they want, and then we say, yeah, okay. Without actually planning on, like, fulfilling it. kind of trick them into thinking is happening.
I think we get back to the point about them then reneging on a deal and killing the noble.
No, but we go in and we say, what do you want? And they say, we want this. And then we're like, okay, we'll go and get that for you. And then
But
we
then
tell
when we
these
don't-
guys.
I am the one that is
Yeah, but
authorized.
then they have to deal with it. Then it's not us anymore.
No,
But then
then
we're not
they
getting
send us
paid.
back in, and then we have to tell them.
Then we have to tell the guys.
I have been authorized by the Viscountess and by the commander of the Peakstock Watch to act in whatever capacity I feel is best as inspector. So you tell me what their demands are, I will then judge how feasible it is to fulfill them.
Gotcha.
So we can do it.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Do you have any sort of intelligence that may give us a clue of how many red rats there might be in there?
We think that there are perhaps a dozen, but there may be more, there may be less, we're not certain. All we know is that they're definitely in there. And there's no other way out of there, so they're trapped in there as far as we're concerned. This is a standoff.
Fella, can you ask a bird?
Yeah? To go and have a look? I could do
There are windows to this place.
And when was the last time you saw the rats or had any kind of communication with them?
Last night.
Right, well, we seem to be just going around in circles.
Yes, let's go. There's every
go to
chance
hill.
they're gone in the wizard's tower.
Wait a
There's
second.
1,000 ways to escape.
Thanks very much. We'll be back in a minute.
He steps out of the tent and holds it open for you, just as you to follow.
Well, he was grumpy.
Very.
He's still here. He's just...
He's very
Guys, he's
stressed.
right there. I'm so sorry.
There's a lot on the line here.
Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but needs must.
Oh, aye. It's not a great situation. That's why we're here to help.
Dallin with us, though.
No,
No,
Dan's
he got
off.
sent off.
Dan's got sent off.
Remember you made a whole joke about him going and watching but not doing.
Oh, yeah. I was funny about that.
How
15
times
minutes.
change. So you'll head out and you head out of the tent and you can see the inspector talking to some watchers, and there's a gap in the perimeter that forms, allowing you to walk up.
Cool.
Like I said, we'll be standing ready.
Should we warn them that we're coming? Like we're about to approach? You know, not to freak them out? Or should we just not?
Just show up yelling we're not part of the watch. That was what they're asking for, right?
And I would say no weapons drawn, obviously. As
Aye.
as non-threatening as possible as we ascend.
Please do. Please
Don't cause problems.
don't say anything that would get a member of the nobility killed.
I get told that a lot. Good times. We'll see you later. And then I walk up the hill.
Don't worry, only one Duchess died!
You think you hear a very distant... Okay. So, as you enter the circle, you then just hear from behind you as you start walking up the hill. Watchers! Stand by! And then you
Watch harder!
They will get their spectacles out.
I hate you.
Unison.
I hate you all so much.
The sound of 1,000 ears.
So you don't hear the withdrawal of any particular spectacles, you bastards. But what you do hear is
Less blinking.
the drawing of bowstrings.
As Herb walks up the hill, you notice that he's limping quite badly and is looking still bleeding a bit from that big fight.
Oh yeah, I'm bruised quite badly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fine.
Yeah, you're raring to go.
I'm like
Costs
better than I
cure
was this when I
wounds.
stubbed
Cure
my toe this
wounds.
morning.
I love not having wounds.
What we should have done is short rested on the cart ride over. That's what we should have done.
Yeah, you should have done.
Should have done a lot of things.
Remember how you were saying you were a nice DM who doesn't
Oh,
who's
yeah.
assume we don't
How
do
long
things?
was that?
Yeah, and remember when you bastards started taking the mick out of my names 2 episodes into the series?
This is your fault, you funny bastard.
How long was the cart journey?
In all seriousness, the cart journey was less than an hour.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
So it's only 4, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
nice try.
Nice try.
What?
I don't know. Let's go. We're going to
Yeah.
the top of the tower. Not
So-
the top of the tower. The top of the hill. Where
So
the
you
tower
walk-
is.
No, not in the tower, not yet.
You walk up to the top of the hill, and it's slightly hard going because it's a relatively steep hill. But as you get close to the tower, you see it's made of stone, and it stretches up, you reckon, about 70 feet or so. You can only, from this sort of angle, where you were directed to go up, you can only really sort of make out two features. One is the main front door, fairly standard wooden door, and the other towards the very, very top of the tower is what looks to be a balcony.
Cool.
Can we see from here if the balcony has like closed doors, if it's open? Could a bird get through there?
Hypothetically.
There is a bird hole.
Where's that pigeon?
Roll a pigeon check. Make a perception check.
For pigeons.
Very well.
Is the door sort of a standard single door, or is it like big double doors?
Standard single door.
Little door.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I got cocked twice. 17.
17. Looking up, it's hard to tell from this angle, just due to the steepness of the hill and it being sort of almost near the top. You think they're looking up. You might be something. It might be sort of open to something or other, but it's hard to tell.
Aerial attack.
How are we going to get up there? I'm not saying no. I'm just saying how.
I have to toss you.
Don't tell the elf.
That was dangerously close to a reference. So,
I'm sure that was almost an exact reference. Anyway.
Tolkien can't sue us now.
Talk.
You can't libel the dead.
So, what do you do?
We walk up to the door and I knock on it.
Okay.
Hello?
Let me go first. I'm very unassuming. I've got no weapons.
Who is it?
It's just we've been sent to negotiate with your friend. We're neutral in this quarrel.
You can hear muttering behind the door, but you can't make it out.
Speak up.
Why'd you call me?
Right. All of you. Take 10 paces back from the door. And if I see any weapons, I think you know what happens.
Understood. We're doing that now.
I take
Really?
9 paces back.
That's probably just as well because your paces are bigger than our paces. So I think if we all do 10 paces, you're significantly further back.
Really near the door.
We're only little.
A head sticks out the door and says, "You know that's not what I meant, you bastards." So, the door opens, slight crack, and you see one masked, like balaclavaed human man, stick his head out, takes a look at you all. Show us your hands.
Can I, while he's doing this, can I make a desperate bid to see his wrist and try and make out the number?
Like, you can't see, like, he's literally just his head out the door. You can't see.
Okay, so he's not got his hand, like...
No, it's just like...
Okay. First chance I get, I want to, like, try and squint. Like, if he shows any glance of wrist.
Okay. Do you all show him your hands? Right. No funny business like.
You heard him, Herb.
And
What?
Would you like us to come inside?
I didn't see anybody.
no. All of you stay right there. You do anything funny? He opens the door. And he walks out. And several individuals walk out. All armed with crossbows. And total of 10 people walk out. And they sort of spread out, sort of along in a line, bows raised, looking at you all, pointing at you all. A couple of them sort of look down the hill.
All armed. Clearly none of them are the hostage.
Yes. The last one to come out does not have a crossbow, but has a pair of has a rapier and dagger at his belt. He's a tall human, sort of very strong, kind of 5 o'clock shadow. Dark hair, looks to be in about his 30s. And he takes like center stage, so to speak, looks at you all. Takes a long look at you all, and then just gives a very sharp whistle, sharper than I can do, into the back towards the tower. Four of the guys at the very edge, two on each end, turn to face the door, their crossbows pointing at it, and you see a man step out of the open door. This man looks very different to the rest. He is very young, about 18, dark hair, long and greasy, unwashed, and he looks quite dirty. And he's dressed in very fine clothes, which have been ripped and torn and look and sullied. And he has a cut on his face that looks to be fairly fresh, and a few other cuts from where in holes in his shirt and his sleeves and stuff. And the central man, the leader, goes, "Right. No funny business now. Come on now, lad. Don't be shy. Show the nice people how you are. You do anything funny, he gets 4 bolts in the chest." And the man kind of steps forward, like half a step behind the leader. And he just looks at you all, stares, doesn't say anything, but just stares hard at all of you. Very obviously a pleading expression on his face.
Baron Khalil, I presume. You're right, lad. Not done anything to you.
I'm as good as can be expected.
Don't worry, son. We'll get you out of this. Don't worry about it.
Right. I'll be a good lad. Go back inside. He nods. 4 crossbows on the edge, still very much trained on him until he goes back into the tower. So, you're the ones that the pig sent.
That's us. We have no horse in this race. You've got all the power here. Just tell us how we can negotiate this and sort this out the easiest way for everybody. That's all we care about.
It's nice to see some straightforward talking here. So, the Red Rat's demands are quite simple. You want your special little preemed baron back. A simple ransom. 10,000 gold. You bring that up to us. We count it. You grant us safe passage beyond that little pigsty down there. And you get your man back. Safe and mostly sound. Now you run off to your little masters and you tell them that. We'll be waiting.
How many of your men do we have to give safe passage to?
All of us, like?
Numerically speaking.
Oh, you're a funny little man.
Thank you.
We've told you our demands. Off you go.
Alright then. Thanks for your time. Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you in a minute.
Understand this. If you hurt a hair on that boy's head, you get nothing.
He just smiles, turns, walks back inside.
Where's that kind of affection for me?
Shut up, you little prick. You're always whinging and whinging. You want to kidnap a boy? I've got one here for you.
Fake sake.
I guess we
We walk back.
head
Yeah.
down the hill.
He was scary.
Sure, I've met him nastier. Probably.
Once we get the boy safe, can we kick the shit out of her anyway?
It looks
Don't
like
like
there's...
that
I mean, I don't know what they're expecting. Like, as soon as they hand the boy back, like,
We kill them and take the money back.
I would imagine so. Have you seen how many of these watch boys there are?
I'm not
They
sure.
can't all be just watchers.
I'm really not sure that the Watchers are going to be happy with 10,000 gold pieces and safe passage.
That sounds like them problems to
they're
me.
Not, they're not going to give the money over without.
They must realise
At
that.
least some people.
Why would they give them
say-
safe passage as soon as they no longer have the hostage? They're getting arrested.
He'll be trapped or something. And they'll say, like, we'll disarm the trap when we're far away. But then the problem with that is, who's to say they'll disarm the trap at all?
Yes.
Anyway, that's not our problem. We were told we weren't allowed to negotiate.
Let's go and talk to Inspector Grumpy and see what he suggests.
I'm sure he had a name, but I don't like that.
3 gold
Pelton.
Pelton, yes.
says 3 gold says he doesn't accept the terms and sends us back up.
You're on. I don't even know what the terms were. I just can't resist a bet.
It's like a character flaw.
What? You crazy, man.
Let's see. Anybody who wants to make an intelligence check.
Wicked smart. Oh, not today.
Just a general intelligence.
Yes.
13.
13,
19.
19,
8.
8, 8,
16.
16. And yours was
13.
13. Yeah, so the three, Ester, Vela, and Drake, you would know that an inspector is a rank within the civil authority that is very high. It's second only to a city watch commander, which is the sort of the top one can get. That's sort of an inspector is kind of like I'm trying to think of the equivalent, like a chief detective or a deputy commissioner sort of level.
So fairly high up in the organisation.
Pretty like the highest. It's the second highest rank basically in the organisation. So the fact that they've got one of these guys on the case is pretty damn significant.
Serious, yeah.
Cool. Just before you start going ahead round calling him Inspector Grumpy.
Oh no, I went maybe to his face like once. Damerus knows how to like push or
He's
just
sensible.
test the boundary.
Why would you say something so brave yet so controversial? So,
Yeah, we go
Yeah.
from finding Inspector Grumpy.
okay, so he's sitting there waiting, and or standing there waiting outside the perimeter, and you walk back through the perimeter of guards.
So what did we bet? I literally you just said, I bet this.
3 gold.
That he rejects the terms and sends
Oh, and
us
I'm
back
saying
up.
he'll accept them, am I? Cool. I literally had the word bet. I was yes.
This is going to be fun. So, come back. The inspector has been watching you the whole time. Good to see that you don't have any arrows in you.
I mean, I did earlier. It's not important. So the Baron is he's been roughed up a little bit, as kind of to be expected in something like this, and they're asking for 10,000 gold pieces and safe passage for all of them, however many that may be.
10,000 and safe passage.
Yes.
Very well. It will take some time to get it together, but we can do that. If
Sleight of hand.
yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Is that cocked? No, it's not cocked. 21.
21.
Super sneaky.
Yeah. So
Rolled an
yeah,
18.
Drake, you just you
This is something we do, clearly.
you just feel sort of like a a touch on your belt, and then you just turn your hand and pocket the 3 gold. The inspector doesn't seem to notice. Yours. Very well.
This is why you take the bet.
It will take some time to get that amount of gold together, but give us a few hours, and we should be able to sort something. We might not be till later tonight, but
Do you want us to go and tell them yes? Or do you want to just get the gold and then we'll go up with it?
aye, get the
Alright.
gold. We don't have much in the way here, but
Did I spot a tavern on the way?
you didn't, because you didn't actually you didn't go into the village proper. But Pelton says if you talk to Dallin, and I'll see to it that he gets funds for food and drink
Good man
for
himself.
the evening for you, and we'll send word when we've gathered the funds.
Perfect. We're going to be in the town then and you'll come get it?
Aye.
Very good.
Anywhere I can rest my old bones.
If we could do it well, you might call a short rest. Not too long, like.
Well, I'm sure that folks like you would know that this is the DM speaking for some reason. That doing such things that are not strenuous, like drinking in a tavern, so long as you don't get into any fights, that might count as a
I was
short
going to say,
rest.
it's strenuous the way I'm doing it.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Might I recommend, Inspector, if you're sending runners to collect all of this money, only send men that you personally deem to be trustworthy.
Just given the whole ambush thing.
Thank you for your advice.
That's on the house. I leave the tent.
I follow. As it goes, I don't think Grumpy like that.
Yes, well, let's leave this. We'll go back to the carts and we'll...
I then turn around and go back in the tent. Sorry, where was your man? You said he was going to give us some money for the food and drink. Like.
I'm sure he'll be around the perimeter somewhere. Go and talk to him, so you have my authorization.
Thanks very much. Now I leave the tent again.
There are quite a few men around the perimeter.
Yeah, but we know who we're looking for. We've met him before.
It's the same one.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's the guy who
Dallin,
knows
yeah.
Dallin.
Yeah, watch out
Yeah.
that one. Yeah. So you're able to find him easily enough. He goes, yes, no, of course. One moment, and he reaches into his purse and goes, I believe that between you, 10 gold should be sufficient.
Sure. What's the prices like around here?
In a village like this, not very high.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Not at all.
Any chance we could requisition one of those carts that we brought earlier?
Yeah, she has
Just, we're just going into town.
It's
We have-
really not far. It's
Yes, but we have a very old halfling with us.
He does. He is old. Look old.
I'm old!
make a
He
deception
falls
check.
over.
Make a deception check for me, Alex.
He is old!
He is old.
Yes, but bearing in mind, Dallin also saw you kill 3 men.
Yeah,
Like a
16.
boss.
16.
We did bring the carts, to be fair.
I mean, yes, but I also sent them to town to be. It's really not far. It's a 10-minute walk at best.
Can you make that?
Herb's asleep. He's just face
Look
down
at
on the ground.
Would be making an old man very happy. Even happier than he is sleeping in mud.
I roll them over so he doesn't choke on the mud.
Harlan, leg up. And two watchers come over and they give the salute. Sir, if you wouldn't mind escorting these individuals to town and helping this elderly gentleman. Yes, sir. Come straight back. Yes, sir. At once, sir. And they kind of these two watchers just pick up Herb by the underneath the armpits and like they're just sort of look at each other, not quite certain how to deal with a halfling who can't currently walk, and they just never mind, and they start walking up into town.
I presume that takes the news.
Yes, yeah. So about 10 minutes past. It's not very far walk. and they point you to the nearby tavern on the north side of town. And I say town. It's a very small village. Like you can see pretty much from one end to the other, and you can see there's quite a few. There's a couple of boats down by the shore that seem to have come in recently. There's some men working who are dealing with a lot of fishing nets. This appears to be just a small little fishing village. But so the name of the tavern is rather appropriate. You look and you see a Vela. You're taken aback because the swinging sign outside the tavern is a fish with a knife through it. And the name of the tavern is the Fish Guts.
How's the smell?
Before they go, I presume they kind of deliver herb and then head off to there.
Yes, they say. I'm sure you can carry him inside.
Oh, sure we can. I give them both a silver piece each.
Thank you very much.
Buy yourself a drink on us later. Thanks very much for the help.
That we will, sir. Thank you. See you later, I suppose. And they start heading back.
Cool.
Drake,
Yes.
could we do some of our conversation lessons?
All right then. Let's get some drinks in first. All right. I help carry herb into the tavern.
Okay, so you walk
get a
in
table.
and it's there's a like it's not a massive tavern, certainly not by city standards, but it's open. There's a good few patrons in here. There's a couple of groups, the odd couple of people sitting alone. Very easy to find a booth, a table for the five of you. You walk up to the bar, I presume, Drake. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And you see a.
Oh, I put herb basically in a booth. Or
Yeah.
something,
Easy enough. You see, and you see a human woman, thin, blonde hair, probably about in her 40s, and she goes, "Hi, welcome to all of you. Welcome to the Fish Guts. What can I get you?"
Oh, hi there. I was thinking we'd get 5 dinners, a couple of drinks. Can we set up a tab?
I mean, sure, yeah, that's fine. Dinners, got some fish stew, fresh caught today.
That's perfect for 4 of us. Do you have anything veggie?
Veggie, can I ask the chef to make it from make it with vegetables.
That suit you?
Take out the fish.
We'll have 4 of the fish stews and 1 veggie.
Sure. And
Are you all going to eat fish?
We'll have 5 veggie stews.
Can you talk to fish?
I'm not judging anyone, but
It's just easy.
But I feel
Five
incredibly
veggies.
judged.
You quite sure?
yeah, here we are.
And she kind of leans in and says, "Sure you don't want 4 veggie stews?"
No, we don't want that.
Right. No, I quite understand, sir.
Having
That's
5 veggie stews.
five veggie stews. That's
Okay.
quite right. Drake, just for the hell of it, make a deception check.
13.
Yeah, no, Vela, you're having 5 veggie stews. So, and what do you think you drink? You thinking beer, wine?
Well,
What takes your fancy?
he'll have a whiskey, the old man in the corner. He's asleep now, but I'll wake him up right proper. What do you normally have? I'll have an ale.
Ale, right? Yeah.
Whatever the local stuff is.
Local, yeah.
Do you have tea?
I think I can brew something up for you. Yeah. We don't have much, but just plain old Zeffirini blend. Same old, but we got something. And for the 2 of you,
Wine for me.
Wine,
Just,
wine.
like just above bottom tier, but maybe below the mid tier.
you don't want to seem cheap, right?
I'll get you something. And for you, miss.
What's good around here? What are you famous for?
I mean, we're not really famous for anything. We did have quite a nice chef quite a while back, but he got poached by this tiefling who came through. She was didn't want to mess with her.
He wasn't Big Cheese by any chance.
Yes. How'd you know Big Cheese?
Oh yeah, we know Big Cheese. They go way back, like 6 months.
He actually cooks for the Golden Sails now. company operating out of Pigstock.
Oh, you sit. Oh, you. Well, you're lucky. That's all I'll say. You're very, very lucky.
Oh, we know. He's a good lad.
Yeah. Best damn cook I ever had. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy we got now is perfectly fine.
But he's not big cheese.
He's not big
No,
cheese.
he's not big cheese.
It's not even big cheese. We're far away.
No, it's not even small cheese.
That's dangerously close to a reference. Oh god, we're getting meta 2 episodes in. But it's fine. So that's 5 stews, a tea, a whiskey, 2 ales. No, an ale, a wine, and you wanted. I mean, we're not really.
Just get her a local ale, it'll be fine.
Local ale, right. So all in all, 5 dinners, various drinks, whiskey, tea. I'd say that come to between the 5 of you. Are you paying separately or together?
We'll pay together.
Right. That's about let's call it 5 silver even.
5 silver for the lot.
No, wait. That was for the drinks. A golden 5 silver is what I meant.
Right.
I put 2 gold on the door.
I was going to say, yeah.
Immediately, just.
Thank you very much, sir.
Keep the changes. Not
That I will. That I will. Just take your seat. I'll bring it out to you when it's ready.
Thank you. Alright, go sit down.
Thanks very much.
Not at all.
Herb's face is still caked in mud, and he just. Drakensien! It's happened! I've gone blind! Take me, Lord!
No, Granite, hang on.
Oh, very good.
You fell asleep in mud again.
Oh, lovely.
The barmaid, she brings out drinks to you all. Brings you out 2 ales, a fairly dark red. Brings you out a steaming mug of tea and the whiskey. And a few minutes later, 10 minutes or so later, the 5 definitely vegetarian stews come out. She very specifically puts Bella's out first.
Yeah, exactly. Right, dig in.
It's good.
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
Lovely.
You can taste the freshness. Yeah. You can taste the guts.
Vegetable guts.
Yes, and nothing else.
Well,
Can we get more ale? We have so much gold.
Yes.
We do. I actually wanted to talk about this. I re-pull out that pouch and put it down on the table in front of
Oh
everyone.
yeah.
I collected this from those.
Hold that thought. Did you take the 10 gold from Dallin?
No.
I took the 10 gold from Dallin.
Yes.
Cool. In which case, I give you the 10 gold. Hold that thought. We'll put it all together. And I go back to the bar. I put the 3 gold you gave me from earlier. That'll be the tab for us. So if we want any more drinks or anything, just take them out of that. Any change, you keep it yourself, alright?
That's very generous of you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Oh, and we'll have another round of everything.
Of course. Coming right up, sir.
Perfect.
Not the dinners.
Well, yeah, oh yeah. Not the
No,
food.
no, no. I gathered. Yeah.
One food.
Wait, sir. Do you want a second dinner?
I only had 2 breakfasts.
Well, I'm sure you're a growing lad.
Oh, I've always been a growing lad.
Second dinner coming right out, sir. Another of the vegetable stews, sir. Right.
And I returned to him. Sorry, you were saying. I
Yes.
just didn't want to get that in.
Now with that 10 from the watch, there's some gold and well, just other coins that we can. We all split. We're all working together. We all earned it together. There's 32 gold pieces, 39 silver, and 41 copper all up.
Sure, I'm kind of happy for you to keep hold of that. Like, you're the one who's going to be valuing everything at the end anyway.
I mean, I'm
If
happy
that works
to
for
hold
you.
on to it for everyone if they like.
You were doing it before you joined us. Like, we were just
Yes.
giving you everything anyway. Like,
That's true. Okay, well, in that case, I'll keep it in a separate purse to one side and come and ask me if you need any money, I guess.
you are alright with that? You know, you're new to the
Yeah.
whole
That
set.
sounds fine with me.
Grant?
Wonderful.
As long as I can have more ale.
Oh, yeah. Gee.
Yeah, drinks. More drinks come over. Yeah.
And second dinner.
And second dinner. Yes.
Is there anyone else in the bar except for us and the lady?
There's a few other patrons. Yes. There's some appear to be a couple of fishermen who have gotten off early. There's another gentleman who sort of wearing sort of fairly, standard, clothing, who's just having a drink by himself, very dark hair. There's a family who are enjoying a nice vegetable stew dinner. But other than that, not really.
Cool. Drake. In small talk,
Yes. Right.
how would I say who lived in the tower and when did he die?
Right. Well, see, the thing is, right, small talk, it doesn't really apply when you're dealing with bandits or jobs, right? Then you can be direct. So you can say who lived in the tower and when did he die. If you're
Esther
asking...
gets up and it starts to walk towards
Wait,
the
no. That's my fault.
Walks towards who?
the family.
The family. Okay, so it's a
Who's
it's
your
a
daddy and what does he do?
it's a husband and wife in their looks to be sort of in their sort of mid-30s and two young girls about like both less than 10, you'd say.
Less than 10, and they're still currently eating.
Yes.
I'm running after him
Okay.
with my stew.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I'm a growing lad. One day I'll be 4 foot. That's what I believe.
Believe all you want, lad. Believe all you want.
Halfling there ever was.
He's practically a dwarf.
So I'd like to go up to the family.
Mm-hmm.
Say, excuse me.
Aye. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
This is the father talking.
That tower. The tower outside of the village.
Yes.
Who lived in it?
Are you two together?
Yes. Well, not together. She's we're
Well, I mean, he's just my friend. We're friends.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
What did you think he was asking?
Sorry, we're not from around here, right? And we're here to help the watch. And we were just wondering if any of you guys knew anything about the tower. What with the being locals?
Oh, that was that was. I'm afraid I've not lived here that long myself. I've just sort of come up from Armsport. I'm not lived here that long. I've always. I mean, I've walked past the tower. I've seen it, and I know that some wizard used to live there. But it was before my time. Really, I'm sorry. It's. I just know that it's been abandoned for a couple of decades.
I turn to the girls. I say, are there any stories about that tower?
They sort of look at both the girls seems very interested in you because you're new and interesting, and like one of the younger girl is giggling at your slurping, and the wife the mother just go, shh, Della, shh, can you, and but the older girl goes they say that there was an old man who lived there, very old man. There were weird little blue flashes sometimes in the night. That's what I heard.
Who told you that?
Oh, everyone knows that. And the father goes, Sila, look, girls' stories, you know how kids talk. I mean, it might be true, but I mean, I'm sorry, we don't really know anything.
No worries. Thank you for your time. Sorry to interrupt.
That's quite all right. You have a good day, and 12 blessings to you.
And you. Right.
I hear excited muttering as they walk away.
I guide you away from the table. Right. So you actually did pretty well there, right? Now, rule number 1. If you go back to the first chapter of Small Talk, go to your book.
But I thought you said this is business, so...
I know, but that was... You walked away before I finished. That only counts if it's the people who gave you the job. They didn't give us the job, did they?
No.
The watch did. So it's the watch. You can say whatever you like. Well, no, you can't say whatever you like. But you don't have to worry about small talk.
Right.
You're not finding this at all, are you?
What I'm struggling with is what's the point of small talk ever?
Okay, come back to the table.
Just before, just as you're downing your stew, just before you you just hear hello there, friend. You turn and you see it's the individual who is sitting alone with the long black hair, and he's apparently sort of putting on his coat and seems to be making his way out. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, Drake?
No. I can almost guarantee you a no. Is that? Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. For a total of
19.
Okay. So the fellow walks up to you and he just says, "Hello there, friend. I suggest that you stay here all night and have a very good time." And it seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to do. But then, like, you're aware of how magic works, and he's saying it very significantly. Like, I suggest you stay here and have a good time, and like you're just and shake it off.
These are the droids we're looking for.
Thanks, but I don't think I will. Why do you want me to stay so bad? I put the ball down, and I kind of get ready to draw my bow.
Well, let's roll some initiative.
Oh, God damn it.
As this begins, would I passively have noticed this gentleman moving towards
What's your
Drake?
passive perception?
15.
15. Yes, I would say so.
So I would have noticed that too,
But-
because mine's 16.
Oh, wow, even better.
Damn.
So,
I know everything.
Mine is
so in
9.
fact, Drake and Esther, can you both roll initiative? And in fact, everybody roll initiative, but for the first round, the three of you don't get a reaction, basically.
Critical fail, so I'll reroll that.
Oh yes, because you're a halfling.
That's way better.
Oh.
Do we get to roll all ones?
Yeah.
Unless they're on the same.
Unless you roll two.
Yeah,
ones
you
in a
can't.
row.
Yeah, if you roll twice, then you stop with it.
Yeah, but you're very unlikely to get a 1. So 25 to 20.
22.
22.
Much better than 6.
Yes. 20 to 15.
18.
18 and
15.
15. Uh, 15 to 10.
14.
14.
And what are your respective dexterities, please?
19.
Yeah, you win.
Okay, yep.
Pretty dexterous for an old man.
Oh, yeah.
And okay, so this individual doesn't seem to be carrying any weapons on him. And Esther, since you're there, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me, please.
Obviously, I already know you tried to talk magic.
Yeah, you know something. You know he tried to do something to your head,
Not a fan.
but you don't see him wearing his.
Yeah.
He's not like wearing fancy wizard's robes or
Yeah.
like. He's just like long dark hair, brown eyes, human, about in his mid-30s.
13.
13. Yeah, no, you recognise the cadence of that sort of spell. He attempted to put a suggestion into Drake's mind. So you would recognise that.
That was a really good time for a natural 20.
Yeah, it was. Particularly with you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but Drake, you're up first.
So I draw my bow.
He has no weapons drawn.
Yeah.
Just so, yeah.
So I'd like to hold my action. Can I hold for if I think he's casting a spell or running away?
Sure.
And basically, I want to say to him, right, now we're going to have a civil conversation. Why are you casting spells on me?
And there's there's sort of like, wait, what? You know, people have now just noticed that you've drawn a bow in the middle of a tavern against a seemingly unarmed man. But you did say that. Vela, you sort of turn over and notice this. But obviously this is the first point of reaction in a round, so that's all. But that would be where you are. Ester, you're up.
I'm up. I would like to hold command. I'll hold out my symbol and hold the command spell and say what he said.
And what command are you holding specifically?
Eat a dick.
Technically, it has to be one word.
Eat so
I don't know where she keeps those, but she's always got one.
7 days.
There's a reason she's a creepy girl.
Yeah.
And there's a reason I keep her around.
Just halts, so it doesn't move and takes no actions.
Okay, so you're holding that spell.
Yes.
In reaction to what?
In reaction to him doing anything that could be perceived as aggressive or trying to run away.
Fine. Just to make you aware, my sort of rules regarding spells is because you're casting it and then holding it until the very last second to release the energy. Is that if for whatever reason you can't cast that spell, like he turns into a chicken or whatever. But if for whatever reason you can't cast that spell, you lose the spell slot.
I'm going to lose it anyway.
Yes. Because you're having to because you're having to sort of hold the energies and release it at the last second.
Okay, I'm going to try just casting it then.
Okay.
It's got really dark in here.
It did.
For you.
Light just died, I think.
Oh,
That's a wisdom save.
Yeah, I think the battery's probably...
Oh, well. Oh, no.
No. Oh.
It's going to die. It's alright.
Yeah.
Let there be light.
Okay, that's good. No. Wisdom save with a DC of
13.
13.
So you just cast it, sorry.
Yeah.
What did you cast?
Command. So,
what was the command then?
Tell.
Tell. So, this individual just looks at you as you draw the bow, very unconcerned. Turns to you, smiles, adorable, and then his hands start to move in an arcane motion. So go ahead and yeah, I'll give you. I mean, he's kind of right next to you, but I'll give you a normal attack. It's fine.
Thank you. Natural 20.
No. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage, sir.
So that's 46 because she's within 5 foot because I have sneak damage. No, I don't sneak damage. What am I talking about? I'm not rogue.
I'm gonna what? Yes.
Yeah.
But I do 11. Oh, sorry. No, hang on. 15 damage.
Now you're just making things up.
Yes, I am. I was playing a rogue like yesterday.
Look at this nerd. Am I right? So like
15 damage.
15 damage. Like it just goes straight into his chest, and now there's like screams of reaction for everyone around, and he but he just sort of maintains eye contact with you with the final smile, and then he vanishes.
Oh, he took my arrow, you bastard!
It's the pilot all over again. But yes, he then vanishes.
Right, everyone else saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah,
So what?
You just drink your whiskey.
What's
Good notes.
Everyone stay calm.
what's going on in here?
Official watch business. We're trying to get to the bottom of it as well, and we will let you all know when we know.
Make a persuasion check, Damerus.
I love that you're our official spokesman.
The only one who says
Oh dear. That's a 1.
They riot.
I just shot a guy.
They just
failed.
As you're trying
Eight-year-old
to
kids
talk,
shit
like
out
there's like the family is sort of the fishermen at the one table are sort of stood up, trying to sort of look intimidating, but even if they don't really know what's going on, the family is like the girls are like sort of what, mummy, daddy, what's, and they're looking panicked. Nobody is listening to you, Damerus, whatsoever.
In my defense, I did warn him, and I did wait till he started to cast another spell.
Yeah,
so that should have been obvious.
Yeah, no, but like this all happened at once,
Yeah.
so everyone just doesn't know what's going on. And the barmaid goes like, what's going on?
Right. Well, we're with the watch, right? You know the ruckus that's going on with the Wizard Tower.
Right.
We're here to help with that. We were asking this nice family here if they had any idea about the tower. He came over and tried to enchant me, and then I asked him very, civilly, why the hell was he doing that fucking thing? And he tried to cast another spell. So I kind of shot him. And then, rudely, he stole my arrow. That is the crime here. I think we can all agree.
Here.
Drake, make a sorry, Damerus, but make a persuasion check with advantage.
Clearly these people don't like
Persuasion. I don't have anything. So 16.
16.
No taste.
No taste.
The gentleman in the corner.
Yeah. The guy with the long dark hair looking all shifty like.
Oh dear.
Anyone know who he was?
So you asked this to the pub in general, and everyone. I'd never seen him before. No, me neither.
Okay then, if you see
voices
him...
have dropped.
Look, I'm not good with northern accents, okay? I've got to find some differentiation.
What is in that?
Right,
fish?
if you see him again, right, he's dangerous. You let one of the guards know, alright? But we'll try and get rid of this problem for you, okay? We'll be going to the tower later today, so if there's anything that's amiss, we'll be finding it. Don't you worry yourselves, we're on top of things, but just fair warning, he may be dangerous.
That's good to know. Thank you all for your help.
Right, the rest of you go on with your evenings. Have a good one.
And
I put a gold piece on everyone's table.
You didn't see anything.
everyone, like the fishermen both sort of sit down, pocket the gold, and
I give the kids a copper piece as well.
yeah,
They feel included.
the girls sort of like go to grab the gold piece, but then the parents are like, grab it first, but then they see the copper piece. They smile at you. The bar woman at the bar kind of gestures you over. I'm sorry that happened. I appreciate your help, but here, and she takes the 3 gold that you gave her previously out of her pocket, slides it back across the bar, goes, let's consider that this is a what you might call a vegetable stew tab. All right.
You know what? It's on me. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You keep it. Trust me. I don't need it. Be fine. Is there any replacement for damages or anything if the lad should come back? All right. But he shouldn't. We'll be fine.
You're a very kind young man. Thank you.
Tell you what, anyone comes here who can't quite afford it, you take it out of that tab. Right?
That I will. Thank you. Another round?
Go on now.
Brings you all another round. So,
So they got look at everyone.
Exactly. No one listen to me.
Like, no one cares about
I'm just gonna go.
from this.
Well, that could have gone a lot worse.
I went to established university.
Ah, but you're not me. That was your fateful mistake.
Between the horns and the tail, I'm surprised anyone talks to me really. But
you think you hear a distant voice in the over your shoulder, Damerus, that goes, "Oh, who's Captain Grumpy now?"
Is it here? Oh, it's me.
Was there any... This is probably me just kind of grasping at straws. Any
That's just
discernible, family resemblance between this person who we just encountered and the Baron?
The Baron.
Interesting.
It's gone a bit rogue.
Yeah.
Make a... Because you're asking this after the fact, I will say make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Dost thou remember?
Yeah.
Potential.
15.
And you only got a very brief glimpse at his face before he disappeared.
Yeah, 15.
15. No resemblance. None that you could see. Similar colour hair, but this guy had a very thin face.
Okay. That was weird.
Who do you think
What was
he
that about?
I don't know. I've met all kinds of weird folk.
Why would he not want the government to pay money to save a noble. Who would care about that?
Or maybe, like, less specific than that, why is he trying to stop us from maybe not leaving the tavern tonight?
Maybe he really likes us, and he doesn't want us to get hurt in a sort of master must not go back to Hogwarts sort of way. It's dangerously close to a reference.
That's just a direct reference. It's not even dangerously close.
Don't be the house elf!
Look, you know what? I probably would have taken him up on any other night, but the whole thing seems a bit
You
shit.
dirty bastard!
Granddad, please. Not in front of people. But yeah, I agree. It's a little bit shifty. We need to kind of get into the tower and see what the hell's going on. He only kind of came over when we were asking about it. So he's either part of the Red Rats or part of something to do with that wizard, I guess. But whatever it is, he didn't want us to see it, so I vote we go see it. At the very least, after the Red Rats Scarper, we should go and look in the tower and just check it's safe and there's nothing problem for these people. Right?
Yeah, well, my concern is if there's someone trying to stop us going back to the tower, then theoretically, well, you would assume now that they've given their demands, if they don't hear anything back within a day or so, they're probably going to kill the hostage. So.
Oh yeah, but he didn't stop us, did he?
Well, I wouldn't know. I assume that him becoming aggressive in the middle of this tavern, he's trying to stop us. But
I agree. It would be a problem if he was
Do
successful.
anything,
But yeah, I'd be wanting me arrow back. You can bet on that. But
It's a very large number of very peculiar things. First, the Red Rats kidnap a noble, which is very unusual. Second, they hide in an abandoned wizard's tower, which must have been difficult to get to. It must have cost time and resources. It's very open and exposed, difficult to escape from without magical means. And then they make a very simple, easy request, which is simply granted. If they had a simple request, why would they not have given it directly to the watch in the first place?
I actually hadn't thought about that one. I don't know why we had to go traipsing up and down the hill just to tell them it was 10 grand.
I was expecting them to make a completely unacceptable demand, which was the reason it had to be us.
Maybe they're stalling for time.
I mean, in a wizard's tower, there could be all sorts. If there's more of them, and there are any of them who can.
When he did this, would I have had a shot of seeing his wrist?
No, I would say given what he was wearing sort of fairly regular cotton shirt, grey colour.
Cool.
But yeah, kind of sort of up to the sleeves. You know, nothing, no chance of seeing his arm really.
Yeah.
And why would a wizard care about the Red Rats?
What if he was a Red Rat?
I mean, they're a large organisation, sure, but they only do petty theft.
They used to only do petty theft.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all changing now. Maybe they got new management.
Yeah, so with this, they've graduated into much larger crimes. So.
But what would the Red Rats have to gain from that? Why the hell would they go to the bother of making a ransom, asking for this money, and then sending someone to stop us delivering it to them? That makes no sense at all. Use your brain, you idiot.
Damn it, Granddad.
It seems to me more likely that this is someone who wishes harm on that young boy up there.
And the more we think about this, I'm starting to feel funny about the whole job. I'm not sure that they're going to be there when we get back.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that. We got to wait for the guards to show up and come and get us. But...
Yes, I know, but then that
Should we
poor
stay?
boy's already been under quite a lot of duress.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be going up there tonight, one way or the other. They're not leaving a man behind, like.
Fella, could we do that bird thing?
But you want to send a bird, don't you?
I can ask.
Could
I-
you?
It might be worth it.
A little bit of
It's the old
recon.
rebel in me, but I feel like someone saying don't go there makes me want to go there right now
Mm-hmm.
because someone's trying to stop us.
Yeah, but we don't have
Yeah.
the gold. They're not going to open the door if we don't have the gold, like.
No. Do the weird bird thing.
It's not weird. It's perfectly natural.
We're talking to a pigeon.
I'm gonna go out into just outside the tavern and just see if I can find a bird.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna wander around following Vela while she wanders around looking for a bird, just
Sure.
so that she's not by herself.
Fine.
I stay at the tavern
22.
teaching small talk.
22 to her or to Ester? 22. Yeah, no, it's actually it's fairly easy. You look out towards the sea, and you can see like I said, you can see those fishermen from earlier who are bringing in the catch of the day in various nets, and you can see sort of hovering just 10, 20 feet away from these nets, watching them very significantly. You can see a small group of seagulls.
Amazing.
Very, very deliberately not moving closer, but also very deliberately watching the nets.
How far away are they?
Down to the beach. It's pretty close to the beach, but it's probably a good 70, 80 feet away.
Okay.
What do the seagulls sound like?
This week on MaudeWorld.
Another bird. Different bird voices.
Okay, so with
How to make them distinctly different from
With-
Finding Nemo.
MaudeWorld. Yeah? Yeah? You can have that.
You don't want it, but you can have it.
with speak with animals, I can speak with all of them at once. I think
Are you saying or asking?
I'm kind of saying and asking at the same
It's
time.
the Australian accent. I can't. Which is,
Oh shit!
I'm not Australian.
Drop the A-bomb.
I'm not Australian. Are you sure?
Just keep
So,
digging more,
it
just keep
says-
digging.
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. Beasts
it's all
plural.
of them, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just you can talk to any of them.
The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited. Blah 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. You might. Yeah, it doesn't say. It has to be.
Basically, they stupid.
alright,
It doesn't make them
speak
smart.
animals.
Because if it's
Custom
on
self.
yourself,
Yep.
then that implies that it's you able to.
Yeah, she can talk to
So
anything.
Go
It's
full
not
wild
that you're
Thornberries.
casting it on that.
No, no, no.
actually.
No, I'm sure you're right.
No.
I'm imagining Eliza from Wild Thornberries as your character.
That's
And you're
great.
Darwin. What a show.
Okay, no, yeah, you're you have to be able to see them, but and you have to be within it's range self, so you just cast it on yourself. Yes,
Yeah.
but you'd obviously have to.
As long as they can hear me, I suppose.
Yes, but yeah, so you'd have to head down to the beach to.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lightly jog,
Mm-hmm.
but when I get sort of within.
Question: have we had a short rest in this time?
Yes.
Yay!
I love short rest.
Me too.
I love it too.
Oh, that's not my D2. That's not my hit die. That's a D6. That's much better.
Wow. Rolls a 2 on a d6, rolls a 10 on a d10.
Now I'm full of health.
For now.
Delicious health.
Fuck's sake.
So, Vala, you jog down to the beach.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I want to. I'll cast it when I'm a little bit closer to them because
Right.
then it doesn't make sense to. 'cause it's
Damerus,
only
I
a 10
presume you follow.
Yes,
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
minutes.
All of my
yeah.
dice and
Sure.
4
Um,
points back.
So-
Yeah, I'm gonna cast it on myself
Yep.
and stand. I don't know, as close as I can get before they start to notice me.
Sure. So, just to sort of you get into range, Damerus, you just hear a like light muttering sort of cawing sound, like but as the birds are sort of looking at each other. But Vela, what you hear is, I could get it. I could fucking get it. It's right there. Nah, Steve.
That's what seagulls sound like.
We've been through this before, Steve. You tried it once. It didn't work. Just wait. No, I can get it. I can get it. I swear I get. You want to get that? You want to get slapped your week? Do you remember what happened to Bert? Oh, Bert's an idiot. You're an idiot, you idiot. Just wait.
That's a classic comedy.
Your power is the best.
They'll slip up sooner or later.
What are we waiting for?
They look over to you. Is that bird talking to us? Steve, I've told you before, you can't call them birds. That's just confusing.
Has she got an Australian accent?
Oh, I don't know, Jim. Could be. What's Australia? Oh, I don't know, mate. Look. Did you, and one of the seagulls, it's a group of about 6 of them, one of the seagulls goes, did you just say that?
I did. I'm a friend.
Friend, are you?
Uh-huh.
You got any fish?
What?
All the same birds.
They all just
Why?
want food.
I mean, I
They're famously scavengers.
I mean, I can get you some fish if you can help me.
What do you think, lads? Well, I don't
Just
know.
gonna have a flock of seagulls. Fly, my pretties.
She will be more powerful than you could ever imagine.
She could get the housework done twice as fast.
Oh no, fuck this, I've been through this. If birds start singing, they explode. Steve, I told you. A, that doesn't happen. B, stop calling them birds. What sort of elk do you want?
So, do you know about the Wizard's Tower?
What's that?
So there's a big thing. It's on the top of the hill. It's got a bunch of people in it.
There's a lot of big things around here that have got people in it.
Big, like building. I try and like replicate what it looks like. I don't know. I imagined it was really tall.
Yeah.
If only you could see it and just point at the thing.
Well,
I'm just gonna keep describing.
not from
it.
this angle, unfortunately. Yeah, so one of the.
I gesture to the general location that it's at. Over that way. You know.
Oh yeah, I think I know the one you mean. Yeah. What about it?
So basically, we just want to kind of have an idea about what's in there, what the people are doing, and how many people there are. And then, I'll give you fish.
Make a persuasion check.
Again, what things you're expecting to happen this episode?
Yeah. Like the second you said, like, I look for birds, it's just like, right, okay, well, it's obviously going to be a seagull. What voice do I do for the seagull? Let's go for the comedy.
Maybe start planning for birds in every session.
No, you're right. She doesn't sound like an Australian. She sounds like a Kiwi. Hey? Hey?
Tune
It's
in
a
for more
bird.
bird next week.
On MaudeWorld.
Bird.
No, it's not time yet. Okay.
So, what was the persuasion check?
12.
12. Fuck off, pigeon. Look. How much fish are we talking?
They've agreed in principle. Now they're haggling over price.
Shall we say 3 each?
She starts
3 each.
strong.
Yeah, so 3. Yeah, and like they sort of like start talking in a very mine-like gaggle, and
Heads in, boys.
yeah.
Gary, what do you think? Yeah, it's good.
Dave, I told you, stop dancing like a pigeon. It makes you look like a
Keep
twat.
holding out. We can get more.
And then, like, the lead seagull goes, ja, 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 ja.
Be cool. Be cool.
Be cool. You bring us the fish first, and then we'll see.
Can I quickly count how many seagulls we have?
There are 6 seagulls.
6 seagulls. Okay.
You're gonna get fleeced by seagulls.
The brain's
You should
like
have-
this big.
You should have held out for more. Shut up, Steve. I know what I'm doing.
Okay. I'll
Wait,
be
did
back.
she say yes?
Well, go on then.
Bye. I'm gonna walk. And are you there?
Humans.
No, watch this whole.
You just go.
Not understanding.
Yeah,
a
not
word of
understanding a word.
exchange of you
Sarah, could we
cawing
just
back
get a
at
little-
seagulls.
what
then
it might look
one
like to us?
turning
Can we just have a little bit of what we actually see?
Okay.
Wait, we're in the tavern.
Oh yeah, go down.
It's just Damerus.
What we, the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Bravo, well done,
That was so good.
Next week on MaudeWorld. So, okay. So you now have to obtain 18 fish.
So we need 18 fish.
Why do we need 18 fish?
And then all the seagulls will go and scope out the tower for us.
Aren't there a load of fishermen with nets hauling fish in like a few feet away from you?
You're not there. You're right there, Andy.
18 fish.
Uh-huh. I mean, they don't have to be giant fish. They can be small fish.
They probably will be small fish. Well.
Talking really seriously about this.
It's ridiculous.
18 fish.
Incidentally, the seagulls have now gone from watching the fishermen and the nets to watching the two of you.
Right. Well, I guess we can ask these gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh. Mood
It's
light.
Night.
not-
The sun begins to set over the Western Ocean.
Wow, 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 wow.
Already there.
No, he's already starting. Don't you start. We're in episode 2. Give it some backstory first.
So shall I talk to the fisherman?
Yes. Here's some gold. I give
Okay.
3 gold pieces.
I'm gonna walk up. I don't know,
Okay.
like this.
Prance
I'm
merrily.
gonna flounce up to the.
So, you notice at this point that, obviously not having sort of really noticed the fishermen at this point, the two of them are just looking at you. You right there, love? Do you need a hand?
I do actually. Yeah. I've just been talking to these seagulls, and they've just told me.
You've been
that-
talking to the seagulls?
No, look, I know it's strange, but just go with it. There's gold in it if you get to the end. So.
Their expressions kind of become a bit more neutral and they look back towards you.
So you.
Do you find that they hassle you quite a bit?
Well, seagulls? Well, yes, that's what they do.
So, if you give me 18 fish, I can stop that for you.
That's awfully specific.
Well, she did talk to them, you see.
It's still starting to make sense.
Wait, so you're bartering on behalf of the seagulls?
Yeah.
Jesus,
Uh-huh.
I'm making sure that
Why
you
are you
listen
ba-
to her.
Why are you bartering on behalf of scavengers?
They're not scavengers.
Trust me, they are, love. I've lived on the coast all my life. They're definitely scavengers.
They're lovely. They're just hungry, that's all.
Of course, that's the...
Yeah, 18 fish, I tell you. And they will fly away.
I suppose you can make it worth our while.
No.
Well, I mean, surely getting rid of the seagulls is already worth your while.
Right, because yes, feeding seagulls is infamously going to mean they're going to go away and never come back.
He's not wrong.
Shall I give them the gold?
Yes, that's why I gave it to you.
Oh. I have 3 gold pieces.
Should be more than enough for 18 small to medium-sized fish, and we'll feed them away from the dock. Obviously, they're going to come back here anyway, but
One of you, make a persuasion check, please.
I mean, you're taking the lead on this. I'm kind of just.
In fact, I will say, yeah, Vela, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Because Damerus is assisting.
Okay. 18.
18. looks at his looks at his partner and goes, "Make it 6 gold and we've got a deal."
Have you got 3 more gold?
Gentlemen, 6 gold is an awful lot for some small fish. I understand that you need to eat, but 4 gold pieces and.
And you seem the type who can travels around speaking with animals. Like, I'm sure you can earn your gold quite easily well enough back. We're just simple fishermen, you see. We don't understand how those things work.
I didn't say that you don't understand how these things work.
I didn't say you said that.
Good point. Get me back inside any quicker. Fine, here. Give them the gold.
Thank you. Give us a minute, and they start going through their nets and opening them up, and they just start sort of like picking out the smallest and the mangiest looking sort of fish they can get, and they then sort of like come up with a small little one of their small little baskets, hands it over to you, and goes, there you go, 18 fish. If you could bring the basket back, I'd appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Pleasure doing business with you.
And my seagull friends.
One word of advice for you. You start feeding those pests, they'll follow you around.
Really?
They just turn away and sort of go back to their work.
You think for 6 gold they'd at least let you keep the basket?
Yeah, I thought that.
That's an exorbitant fee.
We're not giving that basket back. That is my basket now. I whisper as we walk away.
Okay.
An expensive
It's a
basket.
seller's market.
That fucking basket back. God damn.
Hi, random stranger. I've just been talking to those seagulls that you don't like.
Just
Hey,
ask
I
him
mean,
for some-
I
why
didn't
did
say
you
that
tell
it
the
was
seagulls?
I know, yeah.
Just can we buy some fish?
No, but also, someone walking around with 3 gold's probably going to have 6 gold in a small village like that.
Yeah, well.
Particularly those that can talk to animals.
I've got a basket and I'm writing it in my inventory. So.
Didn't we just spend 1 gold on like 5 fish
Oh, yeah.
stews?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you offered 3 gold.
Yeah, exactly. We should have just said how much for the fish, but we had Fella going with I talked to seagulls. That was our opening bit.
All I got.
So
So, can I say in seagull to my friends? In seagullese.
Can I say in seagull to my friends?
Seagullian, maybe. Anyway, so,
Is that our fish? They're sort of like looking up eagerly.
yes.
Dump it out.
Wait, I thought since we're doing business together, and potentially, if you like what you eat, that maybe we could like hang out some more. My name is Vela. What's yours?
Hungry at the moment.
Hungry?
Yeah. Dump the fish out.
I wish I could understand this.
Oh,
Right,
for fuck's
as
sake.
you dump the fish out, they're like, then they sort of like,
Steve, you did it! Steve!
I know! Let's get it going! 3 fish each! We took her for a ride. Shut up, Steve! And they just start devouring the fish.
I can hear you. I can understand what you're saying.
What? And they just start devouring the fish. And
Is it good?
With their hands.
With their wings.
look, I've already made them Cockney. Let's might as well go full ridiculous. So they start they start eating all the fish, and like you watch in fascination, like as they just start devouring this stuff. But they sort of, at the end of it all, like there's nothing left. They've been picked clean. Wow. Right. That's better. What can I do for you?
So, okay, so you know the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you fly in there, find out how many people are in there, and what they're doing, and come back and tell me everything.
You got yourself a deal. Boys! And they all take
Was
off
there
as
anything
one.
else we wanted? I just come straight out.
Doing
of
shit on the big one.
What did you ask them?
I'm going there, have a look, and see how many people there are.
Can one of them just shit on one of those guys? Or just in the basket, just in the net, in the net. That'd be great.
That'd be quite funny if, and I literally relay the exact same thing.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm sure you're full of food by now, so you're
On
ready.
the way back.
On the way back, after it's digested a bit. Oh, persuasion.
Persuasion.
8.
8. Unfortunately, they've already gone. They've already far away. They want to.
Oh!
But they fly over the roof of the tavern, and they appear to be heading in the direction of the tower. And we will find out what they say next week on MaudeWorld.
Next time on MaudeWorld.
I go, watch this.
Wait, Granite, don't